1. An induced draft air-cooled condenser A uses magnetic induction to create air movement instead of a fan. B. Relies on natural convection and doesn't use a fan. C. Uses a fan to blow air across the condenser coil. D. Uses a fan to suck air across the condenser coil. 2. What happens to the pressure at locations moving vertically up or down a pH diagram's constant enthalpy line? A. The pressure isn't related to vertical movement along a constant enthalpy line. B. The pressure decreases as you move down. C. The pressure remains the same. D. The pressure decreases as you move up. 3. When the refrigerant passes through the metering device, some of it starts to flash from a liquid to a gas because A. The pressure has increased above the saturation point. B. Of the turbulators located near the end of the metering device. C. The pressure has dropped to the saturation point. D. A large amount of heat is added to the refrigerant in the metering device. 4. In an evaporative cooling air conditioning system, cooling occurs by evaporating A. The heat out of the air. B. Water, which reduces the temperature of the air. C. HFC refrigerants into the air, which reduces air temperature. D. Refrigerant inside the component called an evaporator. 5. Which of the following condenser types requires the most maintenance? A. Air-cooled condensers. B. Water-cooled condensers. C. Condensers don't require maintenance. D. The maintenance requirements for air-cooled condensers and water-cooled condensers are comparable. 6. The fins on fin tube coils increase heat transfer by A. Directing the air smoothly across the coil. B. Increasing the surface area exposed to the air. C. Increasing the laminar airflow through the coil. D. Increasing the laminar refrigerant flow through the coil. 7. An air conditioning system's evaporative condenser A is really just another name for evaporator. B. Works by evaporating refrigerant to cool the condenser coil. C. Cools air through the evaporation of refrigerant inside the condenser. D. Works by evaporating water to cool the condenser coil. 8. In the compression refrigeration cycle, the refrigerant is saturated A. In the evaporator and condenser. B. Only in the compressor. C. In the compressor and condenser. D. Only in the metering device. 9. Which of the two refrigerant lines connected to the compressor has a larger diameter? A. The low-pressure discharge line B. The high-pressure discharge line C. The high-pressure suction line D. The low-pressure suction line 10. The pressure difference in a compression refrigeration system is maintained by which components? A. The metering device and evaporator B. The compressor and the condenser C. The compressor and the metering device D. The condenser and evaporator 11. How is entropy defined in refrigeration? A. Entropy is the ratio of the refrigerant's heat content to its absolute temperature. B. Entropy is the total amount of heat in the refrigerant. C. Entropy is the ratio of absolute pressure to absolute temperature. D. Entropy is the amount of heat remaining after subtracting the heat of compression from the enthalpy. 12. 3 different design screw compressors found in refrigeration systems are A. Open screw, semi-hermetic screw, and welded hermetic screw. B. Single screw with gate rotors, dual screw, and triple screw. C. Micro screw for small appliances, standard screw for 2 to 5 ton applications, and the mega screw for industrial applications. D. Single screw, compound screw, and the compound complex screw. 13. An oil slinger is found in a reciprocating compressor employing what type of lubrication system? A. Pressure lubrication B. Both splash and pressure lubrication C. Splash lubrication D. Oil slingers are only found in scroll compressors 14. Compared to the condenser coils in older systems, the condenser coils in new high-efficiency systems A. are made of larger bore tubing to improve refrigerant flow. B. Have fewer fins per inch to allow for better airflow. C. Are physically smaller because of their improved efficiency. D. Are physically larger than older low-efficiency coils. 15. A dark or discolored compressor valve plate in a refrigeration system indicates A. Normal wear. B. Operation at lower than normal superheat. C. The compressor has been operating at excessively high temperatures. D. The valve plate is manufactured of inferior materials. 16. Gas trapped in a reciprocating piston compressor's clearance space expands at the beginning of the suction stroke. What effect does this have on the system? A. It reduces compressor capacity. B. It makes the refrigerant colder because it's expanded more than once. C. It increases efficiency by converting pressure into mechanical energy, helping to push the piston down. D. It has no measurable effect on system performance. 17. When antifreeze is added to water, the water's specific heat A increases. Deck.
Welcome. I will answer the first 10 in the morning, then if you accept a $20 additional service charge I will answer the last 7. Let me know if that is okay with you or not. Right now I am off to bed, it's been an 18-hour day for me.
That's okay with me. I've got lots of questions. What's the best way to work with you?
Hello again. Best way to work with me is to post your list of questions with the subject line for Phil only. Then I will look at the list, answer the first 10 questions, and offer you a bit of coaching. Then quote you an additional service amount to answer the rest. I am generally at least 90% correct. Sometimes it is not possible to answer questions well that are poorly written by a professor who has never actually worked in the industry. Here are your first 10 answers. 1. An induced draft air-cooled condenser. B. Relies on natural convection and doesn't use a fan. Not to be confused with an draft inducer fan on a furnace, which is a fan or blower. 2. What happens to the pressure at locations moving vertically up or down a pH diagram's constant enthalpy line? B. The pressure decreases as you move down. You will not be using those terms in the trade, or even as an engineer in this business. Pressure simply increases with heat in a close vessel. http://screencast.com/t/doc96sg. 3. When the refrigerant passes through the metering device, some of it starts to flash from a liquid to a gas because C. The pressure has dropped to the saturation point. When the pressure drops, the fast-moving molecules in the high-pressure liquid can escape easily, leaving the liquid that gets past the metering device with fewer fast-moving molecules, thus it is cooler. Heat is nothing more than fast vibration of molecules. The faster the molecules move, the hotter they are. This is the key concept of refrigeration, you should fully understand it. Take an hour or so to visualize it. Search refrigeration basics on YouTube. That understanding will pay off well for you in the trades or as an engineer. 4. In an evaporative cooling air conditioning system, cooling occurs by evaporating B. Water, which reduces the temperature of the air. 5. Which of the following condenser types requires the most maintenance? B. Water-cooled condensers, because of water scale and algae accumulations fouling the heat exchange surfaces. 6. The fins on fin tube coils increase heat transfer by B. Increasing the surface area exposed to the air. 7. An air conditioning system's evaporative condenser D. Works by evaporating water to cool the condenser coil. 8. In the compression refrigeration cycle, the refrigerant is saturated A. In the evaporator and condenser. 9. Which of the two refrigerant lines connected to the compressor has a larger diameter? D. The low pressure suction line. That's a key guideline when looking at a system. 10. The pressure difference in a compression refrigeration system is maintained by which components? C. The compressor and the metering device. I am sure that I am 100% correct on these answers so far. Rate this answer excellent and accept the $20 additional services offer, and we can move on to the last 7 questions.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/YTHI.